almost every cloud user using AWS or Google Cloud, of course, struggles with rising the cost. So it's increasing every year, I think. So GPU and storage are the easiest workload to shift. The Junction offers them at market prices. So decentralization is much better than centralized, even in this price. So that can mean up to 80% lower GPU cost. It's also our estimation. And 90% lower storage cost. So you keep the convenience of cloud, but move the most expensive parts to a cheaper market price. So it's also, I just want to emphasize why decentralization.
Cool. Thank you so much, Haro and Bernard, for joining me today on Deal Flow Podcast. It's a pleasure to sit down with both of you today and dive into what you are building there. There's so many layers that I want to unpack today because we have I'm going to not muck this one up, but we have the CEO of JANCTION and the CFO of Jasmy and the CEO of Jasmy Labs. So that's Hara, and we've got the CTO Bernard of Jasmy Labs. So I want to unpack this a little bit more just to start everything off so everybody really understands. There's three different layers that we're talking about here, and I think that Hara, you'll be the best person to jump into this, just to give everybody a little bit of a context around like what you're building there and really defined. You can start with the Jasmy and then go into JANCTION and then go into Jasmy Labs.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you, Keira, for this introductions around Jasmy and junctions, our ecosystems. So first, we started from Jasmy, and Jasmy also protects and values data. It's focused on the personalized data. And where is the data coming from? Of course, it's coming from through some of the devices, laptop or smartwatch or smartphone, or yeah, everything, IoT sensors. So IoT can connect device and humans. So that's why we start from how to protect your data securely. And so data, of course, alone doesn't create, for example, AI. This is also coming from AI era. So you need compute to turn it into intelligence. So, so this is also our junctions journey, also starting from 2023. So not only just to protect and valued data, but for providing computing resources using our own devices or companies' devices, also everything. Also through IoT can create our so like economics. So that's why just simply simplify for creating some of the AI era for using multiple GPU or individuals GPUs can create your values here on these platforms. So this is also Junction's next journey from incubated from Jasmine. And also this
Okay, so
Jasmine
what I'm
Labo is
hearing,
also, sorry for interrupting. And so Jasmine Labo Incorporated is also operating companies for Junction. Junction is this AI data centers project name.
so what I'm hearing here now is that you or Jasmine had identified that there is a lot of data on our devices, whether these might be our gaming consoles, our mobile phones, and these are collecting information that is being monetized by some of the giant tech people, right? And so what Jasmy is there doing is allowing people to take control of their data and turn it into maybe monetizable streams and everything like that. So I would ask back to Bernard. I mean, if somebody doesn't know like what blockchain actually is, because that's what Jasmy is actually a fundamental capture and storage of all of this data that we're collecting on our devices. So somebody doesn't really understand that part of like the technical side of blockchain, and then going further into the Janction, which is actually using the data which is stored on this blockchain to power AI models. Do you want to just sort of normalize that into somebody that doesn't know what an L1 or L2 is?
Yeah, of course. So, uh, um, uh, pay great attention that we don't want to say we're just a crypto company or we're just an AI company. We built a whole ecosystem. So even if you don't know anything about blockchains, if you want to avoid crypto payments, you don't have to do that. So you can just join us as a regular company and partner with us, rent our GPUs and build your AI models on top of that. What we're generally doing is we are building an Airbnb for GPUs. So you can connect GPUs that you have at home that you might not use, or if you're like a big supplier, or if you're a gaming center and you have all those events during daytime, but at nighttime, all of those are sleeping assets, so the GPUs are not working, you can connect to the Junction GPU pool. And then other people who might have need for those compute resources, maybe you want to train your AI model, you want to do some video rendering, video upscaling, whatever it is. So everything needs a lot of compute these days, those big computations. Then you can rent those GPUs and you can perform your tasks that you want to do. So you don't need to know anything about blockchain. You don't need to even know much about AI or something. So like you're a designer, you operate with Blender, you design something nice on your laptop, but then once you click rendering, it's gonna take an hour or 4 hours on your small laptop that doesn't have huge resources. Instead, you just connect to Junction, you rent the GPU, and it happens in 10 minutes or however powerful the GPU is that you're renting. And also, we are proud that we can offer that at the lowest price on the market, and even offer some free trials. So if you just want to test our system, if you're an institution, an organization, maybe a research institution, a university, and you want to try our facilities, our features, then yeah, please reach out to us and we can make that happen.
So at the moment, if I was maybe a little indie developer trying to create my own little model, or like you said, rendering a video. Currently, how am I accessing my GPUs? Like, where am I currently getting this compute power to perform these tasks? And what would that look like now moving towards Junction? Like you said, it's cheaper, faster, more efficient. So, how would I actually go about exploring that as an option?
Yeah, so you basically go to our website, junction.ai. You can either become a supplier or you can be someone who is renting. So you can download our app or connect through the website and then make your GPU available to others, or you can rent those GPUs. And here's where it's currently still a little bit technical. So we're still having to improve the UI and UX. But like I said, if you just message me, then I can make it happen much easier, and I can connect you. But if you know a little bit about technology, then and you have a crypto wallet, you use MetaMask or use Kepler or any other of those crypto wallets, and you have some assets on there, you can currently test it on the test net. And we're launching our mainnet also this month, so then everything should be available. So you install the crypto wallet, you get some crypto through the faucet, which is basically free for you right now, and will then be monetized. And then you can go to the website, select the GPU that you need for your personal use. So that can be for enterprise LLM training or video rendering, whatever you use it for. And then you can directly access that GPU. So if you know what you're doing, you have now the GPU, you can perform a secure shell connection, an SSH connection to it. You can do secure copy and SCP to upload your data, then you perform your operations and then you get it back. And on top of that, so we have another service for the video rendering that I mentioned. So again, you go to the website and then you upload your blend file. So like I said, you make some animation on Blender, and you have your final product, and the rendering will take a long time. You just upload the .blend file, and in the background, you don't even have to do anything what I just said about the GPUs. You don't have to rent those GPUs; they're already connected to the network. Those GPUs will separately perform those tasks. So those GPUs will look at the individual images of the animation, and different GPUs will render the animation, so everything happens much quicker. And you get back the rendered file, and you just download the file, and you're done.
That
Yeah,
sounds too simple. Click and click. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
yeah. Sorry. Let me add one more very important information. So the price. So almost every cloud user using AWS or Google Cloud course, struggles with rising the cost. So it's just increasing every year, I think. So GPU and storage are the easiest workload to shift. So Junction offers them at market prices. So decentralization is much better than centralized, even in this price. So that can mean up to 80% lower GPU cost. It's also our estimation. And 90% lower storage cost. So you keep the convenience of cloud, but move the most expensive parts to a cheaper market price. So it's also, I just want to emphasize why decentralization.
Yeah, that's a massive cost saving. 80% cost saving on your GPU compute power and 90% on your storage. So, how does being decentralized enable massive cost reductions compared to a centralized company? So, just for people who might not understand the difference between a centralized and a decentralized company that is providing these sort of compute powers, a centralized company is where it's all owned by one entity, right? They have a kill switch and it's like Amazon AWS, right? So there's in different entities. Whereas a decentralized network is actually owned collectively by people or nodes around the world, and there's more robustness within the whole entire network. So do you want to go dive deeper? Like, why is a decentralized network a lot more cheaper for compute and also storage?
Yeah, mainly so centralized clouds are powerful, right? And but optimized for experts or wealth companies. So getting good, successfully got some of the fundraising and with bigger budget. So as AI becomes mainstream, so we need compute that's simpler, cheaper, and not dependent on a few giants. So this is our visions. So those companies cannot fix that easily because their models depends on central ownership and fixed pricing. So we are building the missing layers and open compute market for everyone. So we can survive both of the centralized and decentralized. So we actually more focus on decentralization can create new, more like a commonly common commonly opened for this AI computing market.
And so there's such a massive demand at the moment for AI, which allows a massive demand for compute to run these models. So it seems like a very technical environment, but I know, Hara, you have an accounting background, right? So how did you go from this highly compliant accounting background to now innovating in the tech industry?
Yeah, actually, I joined this crypto market for Jasmy. It's also fast careers for startups. Before that, I had uh, in the KPMG for 11 years and joined Jasmy in 2018. So as a CFO, so my first job also actually I didn't understand how different from Bitcoin and Ethereum. So then as I started to learn about blockchain technology, I just wanted to watch the like, visualized working for how to create block. Then just so I actually step by step I could learn about what blockchain is, and mainly focus on I am like a focus on finance. So my main job was, of course, to bring tokens into a real business. So Jasmy was founded by Sony's president and also older people. So I designed a token economy people could believe in, then put it into the white papers. So with heavily like talking with legal part. So the big lesson is kind of some token economics and market, like a kind of market formations are different. So Jasmy also uh, could create. So Jasmy grow. So because we treated the token like equities, so stock market, I know it. So our priorities is also focus on exchange liquidity and did load shows to involve some institutions. So this is also market creations. And many people, of course, focus on token economies. So, but I am a basically accountant, so we could catch up uh, basically from the ground. So I think it's good support for getting a good experience in KPMG as accountant and learn about token economy or blockchain, what the blockchain is, and now yeah, we can happy to involve good developers, designers, and many good people in Junction and Jasmy. So yeah, we could do a lot. So, but we actually did to practice a lot. So with few budget and practice, and also making some of the good potential or something like to talk with directly talk with client, the people, investors. Then I could some catch up. So this is sort of like our basic uh, cycles to talk with good people and get some of the good advice, good intelligence from them, and more like to talk with developer and what we want to create it.
So you've kind of taken an accounting approach to designing the tokenomics for both the Jasmy and the Junction ecosystems to build out a circular economy within your own network and creating relationships or partnerships to grow with that. So I want to ask Bernard a little bit more around a little bit. I know that your background goes a lot into data software and engineering, that sort of infrastructure. So, why is it important for people to be able to control their data, and how can people say, like, for myself, I might have my own personal data on my phone or my Whoop band. How can I actually take this data and use the Jasmy blockchain to secure it and then monetize that?
We all know that on our phones we're sharing lots of data all the time. So you share your location data. Yeah, you might have had some experience where you talked about something and that it was recorded, and now that thing is showing up in your uh, advertisements, and it's kind of creepy. We have our company philosophy that you should be in control of your own data. So if you want to sell your data, you should be able to do that. But also, if you want to keep your data to yourself, then you should also be a private person and not share that. And if you want to share your data, then you should get compensation for that. So it's not just for the big tech companies out there that are just gobbling up all the data because they own the devices and they own the infrastructure, and they're just collecting whatever they can. And then even without your knowledge, even though you might say, I agree in some form that you never read, they're getting all your data and then building profiles on top of you, and they're directly marketing, and it might not be always in the best interest of the consumer. So our idea here is that, like I said, you control the data, you control what you sell, and then you can get money off of that. And how does Junction help with all of that? So we have something called the Jasmy Personal Data Locker. So it's a personal data locker where you can put all your data that is saved privately and only for yourself. And you yourself can choose what do you sell, what do you make public, what is collected, what is not collected.
So how does somebody go about even collecting their data or knowing what data is actually valuable?
Basically, it's coming from Jasmy's mind, vision, and productivity. So I think Jasmy already enables people to share their data safely. So using a token like a one-time password, so you can grant temporary and controlled access and revoke it anytime. So just changing the issuing new tokens. So that is all. So it's also simply to use by blockchains what token weights. So it's also it's different from cryptocurrencies. So it's also technical side. So, but firstly, you can build your product here on these platforms, and you can create your asset through IoT devices or through some application, log in by yourself, after logging by yourself. So it's also what I want to create for this new economies. So data is really valuable, and we we already feel about data values, but how to earn money from data. So it's also first steps for every people to recognize where is the data coming from. And so that's why just also first just to recognize for the people, and they don't need to care about some of the technological side or blockchain side, of course. So just create your account and log in by your account. And also you can enjoy some of the uh, using your laptop and computing and of course gaming, designing, everything. But automatically you can earn through your asset. And also this is kind of some new asset we already have, but we don't recognize what asset is.
So do I just connect my device and it constantly updates the data, or is it like I have to go and download my data from my phone and then upload it into a storage vault and constantly do that? Or once I connect my device to the Jasmy and Junction network, it automatically just collects my data. Is that how it works, or do I have to manually process this?
It actually depends on any other data storage. For example, Amazon S3 or IPFS or your private storage. It depends. So you can connect all of the storage systems and just for sharing inside of the storage data to others with one-time password. The one-time password issued on blockchain. So that it all. So it's also not so technically, it's not difficult or complicated.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I want to switch it up a little bit more. So I know that you have built out Jasmy as one of the biggest or the biggest blockchain company there in Japan. And I know that Japan have a very high regulation compliance status. And once you get the tick in Japan, it's almost like the global, you're legit because Japan have such high regulations. So building out a blockchain community and services in Japan, can you talk me through that process? Would you recommend other founders targeting Japan as a place to start up? And how have you found that process?
Yeah, for my opinions. So Japan, also Japanese people or Japanese company, who just want to try to create their own product on blockchain, or they try to issue your tokens, company's tokens. But it's also so this means just in R&D for Japanese companies are open for the next innovation using blockchain or DeepIn, or of course it includes AI or something. So it's also one of them. So, but we actually more like a focus on to build with bigger companies. So, for example, our now actually building for fast use cases with national institutions called NII is also they have to they just want to create good product using deep learning, but they have limit for their budget using GPUs. So we can offer the co-build the product using our GPUs to push for their product going to market, or more like to proceed for their research or creating some of the documentation or something. So that's also they have limit, and we can push for this use cases. So just step by step. So backend system, they don't need to care about it. So using GPU or providing tokens by their computing resources and so on. So we actually more like focus on to go ahead with GPUs if they have limit. So this means like they are waiting for next opportunities and looking for some of the good partners going to the market. So we actually our play no no our like we have good relationship in Japan. So around Sony, the bigger companies and institutions, academias, it's also our one of our strong point, I think. So we actually want to keep expanding to create good relationships with kind of something new coming here in Web3.
That's interesting because I think that's what the Jasmy Labs is really. It's like an incubator and it's allowing traditional companies, maybe a lawyering company or I don't even know, maybe a plumbing company to be able to start to use these blockchain services. And that's what the Jasmy Labs has sort of built itself out for. And then you're using the infrastructure behind the scenes. So the Jasmy Labs is the service provider for anybody who wants to integrate crypto or blockchain or the incentives that are aligned with sort of blockchain infrastructure that you can bring into your own ecosystem. So, is that what Jasmy Labs is? It's a service provider for anybody in business who is crypto curious and wants to start to use this technology and infrastructure cheaper, faster, better options, probably more secure as well than maybe what kind of is out there. Is that where the Jasmy Labs has evolved?
Yeah, actually, our uniqueness is we can involve the listed company on the security market, like a good institutions. So first, just can dive into by consultant. So we can solve the problems for example, like how to create employees benefit for the companies or how to keep hiring for these employees. It's actually getting much difficult. Of course, every other countries. So human resources is really valuable and they have to pay attention for uh, working kind of environment getting more better. So actually, one of the solution services, they're like a employees benefit tokens. So built on our blockchains. So of course, it includes some of the AI or deep learning modules or provide some of the swap functions or DEX or something. But it's actually kind of something new idea, and we can create for the company's benefit. So it's also the Jasmy Labs consulting styles to solve their problems by using our networks. But it's also just one
That's an
example.
interest yeah. No, I like that idea. I've never heard of creating like an employee incentive token. You hear about traditionally in business where maybe if you're in the C-suite, you might get equity options or an opportunity to buy into some of the business. But rewarding employees for good work or achieving different milestones or whatever you want to reward them on, it could be going for a run if that's what your business is entitled to. So rewarding your employees to incentivize them and using blockchain technology, I think that'll add a whole entire level of economics into small to medium businesses, right? And like you said, having loyal employees that are actually working and incentivized to work, and their incentivizations are aligned with their goals. I think that's when you can really see human productivity excelling, rather than just cruising along. So to take it into the Jasmy Junction, Jasmy Labs ecosystem, I know that you guys are operating two tokenomic systems, one for Jasmy and one for the Junction, which is the infrastructure, the blockchain, and one for the GPU market. Do you want to just sort of tell us why you've decided to have two different token systems, and what is the benefit for like the utility behind these, and why would any other founder want to go through the headaches of designing two different tokenomic systems and stress testing these within the ecosystems?
Yeah, I actually want to continue again. So to talk about what Jasmy is. So Jasmy is about safe, valuable data. So AI needs both data and compute. So building a GPU marketplace on Jasmy is natural for me. So Jasmy is the data foundation. Junction is the compute foundation. So together, we build full AI infrastructure people can trust and afford. So about tokenomics. So I just want to talk about what Jasmy Coin is. So Jasmy Coin should be more Bitcoins, so like a currencies. Currency side, we actually want to more like focus on. So Jasmine already 99% distributed, and almost all tokens are, are held on exchanges. So this is also our uniqueness. And so that's why the Jasmine sometimes are called Japanese Bitcoins. So we actually more like it's also first stage. We can build a good financial environment around Jasmine communities. So second stage, we actually should dive into the second stage here in this 2026. So we are preparing for our own blockchain, so layer two, built on layer 2 and EVM and Jasmine other custom gas tokens. So there are some of the like EVM good functions, gas station or gas sponsoring packages, account abstractions, and so on. So we actually more happy for AI builders or designers, 3D designers or creators. You can create your product on Jasmine's ecosystems. So, but they don't need to care about gas fee or something. So we can provide sponsoring packages, or we can provide even these gas stations, so central gas payment systems. So that's why uh, I just so second stage here in this 2026 is more open for builders who want to create your AI product and who can monetize on your data. It's also really important. So our kind of some SDK or API can open, will be opened for the next builders, and uh, they can create. You can create your data utility product or something.
So is that where would you say at the moment is the focus for your audience? Is it builders to come in and start to build out the ecosystem, or are you looking for Web2 companies to come in and integrate blockchain technology? Whereabouts are you guys focusing your marketing efforts, or like who should be paying attention to Jasmy Junction and Jasmy Labs?
Yeah, first we can build on Jasmine ecosystem. So, but our next focusing on AI startups and researchers, creators who feel GPU pain today. So, if they succeed, so demand grows and brings more suppliers. So we focus on enabling those builders first. So that's why I just want to more like expand our developers communities or creators communities, and want to keep in touch with good creators and so on.
Many creators in the Web3 space dream of getting their token or getting to the stage where their project has a token that is listed on Binance. I know that the Jasmy token is listed on Binance. Do you have any secrets to any founders out there that are looking to get listed on these massive exchanges? What should they be doing to make sure that they can get listed?
Yeah, just want to talk about step by step. So first, Jasmy. Jasmy is still in the innovation zone on Binance. This is a huge problem for us. So I know the main reason why we here in innovation zone. So one of the reason is we cannot provide, no, we couldn't provide open source platforms, so blockchain platforms. So we actually have consortium-based platform with an NDA. So so that's why our priority was to build for open source blockchains, and we already could prepare for it. So we actually just focus on uh, to talk with Binance, and this is our product, and many people enjoy building on their product or issuing your tokens or NFT and so on. So it's also open source platform, and many focus on our like builders or the dApps. So these junctions just started to list on Binance Alpha and some of the perpetual market we are focusing on, because we have to keep in touch with institutions. So they actually have huge budget and they have good reputations. So good one. It also depends, but also it's really. I actually want to put the reason why individuals buy junctions. So because they already have it. So it's also just want to target, take some of the, removes the reason why they don't buy it. So just step by step, we don't rush. We actually can build our good product, and actually we can already have good sales in mainly in Japan or Asia market. So that's why just our development teams can proceed, and we actually don't stop for building our ecosystem or our product. So that's why the tokens is also just kind of some, it depends on market waves, right? So that's why it's step by step. But we actually focus on to list good exchanges. Then top of them is Coinbase and Binance. They actually are heading to them and already yeah, prepare for this like listing on their exchanges. Actually, sorry, I couldn't talk
No,
in
That's
details.
that's good. Yeah, no, no. Of course, I can appreciate that. So, thinking about sort of the go-to-market strategy that you guys can do with the Jasmy Labs, I want to ask Bernard. I mean, what has been the go-to-market strategy for the whole entire ecosystem that you guys are building out there, and how important is it to really market, protect, and yeah, advertise around your specific moat. So, how do you stand out to be different from other projects out there that might be in the same industry, building out services for AI startups, providing them compute? So, what is your moat that you're able to offer other people in this area?
Yeah, like we already heard from Harada-san, we have very good connections, first of all, from Sony, because we are founded by ex-president, and we are working in the same office with them. So Jasmy and Jasmy Lab are very tightly connected. And we have good connections with Panasonic. Now I have a development team from Panasonic. I studied at the University of Tokyo, where I have a connection to them. So we have a connection to the researchers there and to some labs that also need the compute power. And Harada-san mentioned we are starting a collaboration with the National Institute of Informatics, also here in Japan. So I worked for them before, so I did some research with them, and we're in talks for the exact nature of the collaboration with them. So also going back to your question, why Tokyo, why Japan, why that is a good area to work. So as an outsider coming in here, Tokyo is a great city for doing business, for doing crypto, for doing AI. There's lots of energetic young builders who want to do something, who want to use what they learned at university, who want to revolutionize the field. And you meet lots of international people. And I want to shout out my friend Ilya Kuryatin, who is opening some AI talks around here. So he's calling it Tokyo AI. So if you look that up, there's some events every month, sometimes in Japanese, sometimes international. And one of our first steps when we were just starting up and everything was still a little bit clunky and not with the best user interface, I went to those events and I gave talks to the AI crowd in Tokyo. And those are very energized people and who are very interested in these kind of projects. And they really want to play around with that. And then we got our first feedback. So, what do we need to pay attention to? We got our nerdy customers who really gave us some good recommendations on how to scale that up, how to make it better for everyone else using it. And then we talked to those institutions, and through pre-existing collaborations and connections, we got people interested. They, of course, get a lot of benefit from us providing GPUs for them, so they can do their research much cheaper, or sometimes even with a free trial. And the next strategy then is we're on a podcast right now. We're hopefully releasing this to a broad audience. We're reaching more people who would be interested to connect with us. So if you go to our LinkedIn page, for example, you can message us. You can connect with us on Telegram. You can talk to us directly, and we can help you out, both setting up with all of our Junction services. I know there's lots of them, and it might get a little bit confusing. We hopefully provide some good service and now also to a broader audience. And as we mentioned, we target both the supply and demand side. So we want to have individual users who connect the GPUs to our GPU pool, and then we want the demand side who uses that GPU power then to build something great. And getting all those people together, that's really the goal of Junction. We have this huge ecosystem. And Harada-san can also talk more about our office space that we are now also renting out to hold events ourselves. So we can reach out and we can invite people and we can get the conversation going and get all of those people in a room together who are interested in making great collaborations work.
So it's about fostering your own network, tapping into the existing network that you've got. So Jasmy, the Layer 1 blockchain, was founded by Sony and Panasonic execs. Does this mean that this blockchain is sort of tailored towards entertainment, music, those sort of areas? Is that where it stands different from any other L1, Layer 1 blockchain out there?
Just also our Sony's president, so Mr. Ando, established so Jasmy, and also we are Sony is conglomerate companies, right? There are a lot of segment for their business, and our characters. So Jasmy's character is focused on finance and IoT. So actually, so our Jasmy's tech teams, it's was in Sony's bio or laptop and Xperia, so smartphones, or any other IoT devices, or like securities, ferry cars. It's also IC cars. It's also we are organized by Sony's financial part and IoT part. So actually, we have a strong point to this more like a securitized over or like a traditional ones, and integrate with blockchain or something like new technologies. But actually, but getting more expand. We should get more expanding with entertainment one. I actually try to keep in touch with entertainment sections with some of the product, co-product building with them and so on. So it's also hopefully we actually just want to do this.
How far away do you think we are from having a AI featured a fully AI full feature movie, winning an Oscar, so beating a normal, Hollywood actor film? How many years away do you think we are from a full AI movie, competing with this sort of human generated content?
That's interesting. So I believe it will be a way out, but they might create a new category for that, hopefully, so that we can see all of those AI filmmakers get their movies in and compete, hopefully in a separate category, and let the best one win. And then maybe a few years out, those movies might compete against the top movies all year round. And interestingly, so I was at TechCrunch last year, and it is interesting the kind of people that are there who need the GPU resources. And I met a filmmaker, and she was making exactly those AI movies. And she's always posting those new ones, and I check them out, and they're getting better and better. So you can't sometimes even tell that it's AI anymore. And the downside there, of course, is the compute resources are getting more intensive. So previously, it's maybe you tried at the very start of Dolly when it came out, and you generated an image, and it took a few minutes just to generate one image. And now that goes much faster and also much more detailed because the underlying GPU resources, there's much more connected. So the big companies, they already have that. But you as a creator, you might not have that. So you need to think about what do I need? What kind of infrastructure do I need to also generate those AI movies and just some small images? And again, I hope we can provide the underlying infrastructure for that.
It's really democratizing the accessibility for small to medium creators compete against the big world stage, right? And being more affordable and accessible is massively going to, I think, open up the market. We're going to see a lot of diversity come in, especially how now the world is so globally connected. It's allowing creators from every single continent to express themselves in their own environment and sprinkle a little bit of AI creativity into that. I think we're going to see a whole new level of entertainment evolve with AI. But yeah, it'd be really cool to see Jasmy to be the home and Junction to be also the home for a lot of these creators to be creating on and taking it to the next level. But so I want to now just bring it around a little bit more around to your guys' personal experience in building within the crazy space of Web3, cryptocurrency, blockchain, lots of buzzwords, lots of jargon, a lot of dopamine and a little bit of sleep is a lot that's associated with this ecosystem and industry. It's a new tech industry. It's a little bit scary for some people, but like you mentioned at the very start, you are allowing people to come in and use this technology and just really learn about the value or extract the value and not really have to worry about what's going on under the hood. So I guess a question for that both of you can answer is like, how have you found the journey of transitioning from a traditional finance world there, Hara, or infrastructure software world there, Bernard? How have you found the transition into a Web3 space? And how do you go about just dinner conversations with people now? Like, have is the tech normalized that much that you can have an open conversation at dinner with everybody, or you're still having to explain yourself time and time again?
Mm. It's interesting. Mani, go ahead.
Yeah, I have lots of things to say about that. So, for those who don't know my background, so I come from academia. I did my PhD here at the University of Tokyo. Then I worked at smaller software companies, then at fast retailing, and then I ended up in the crypto AI blockchain company world. And all of those worlds are completely different. So the academia world, of course, it's a total different world than the industry world by itself. And then within industries, also the blockchain world and crypto world is a totally different one than other more bigger industries and companies. So at Fast Retailing, I was a senior data scientist, and I was in charge of leading some projects of training AI models, basically. So the recommender systems. If anyone is using the Uniqlo app right now, so that is a company that Fast Retailing owns. You can have a little bit of my contribution in there. And if the recommendations are really good, then you can thank me for that. And if they're not good, then someone else screwed it up. So I'll leave it at that. Uh, but we also built interesting things like knowledge graphs for clothing, and we had projects for data visual recognition of fashion, for example. So you take a photo of someone, and then you can see they're wearing a suit and they're wearing a white shirt, and what kind of style is that, and what kind of recommendation can you give on top of that. And so those kind of tasks kind of prepared me for what we need to build at Junction. So because I know from the industry side, how do you train those models? What needs to go into that? What is the compute that is needed for that? And if you connect to AWS or Google Cloud Platform and you rent those instances there, you also know how quickly that goes into the hundreds of dollars for a day. So you just train an AI model and you just want to run it through once, and it takes a lot of time. It has a lot of compute, and you are first astonished by how much money that actually takes just for training some new models, and then have some improvement for like 0.1% or something. But for a big company, that makes a lot of sense, because if you look up the revenue of Fast Retailing, it's the biggest retailer in Japan and second biggest retailer in the world after Zara. You know that 1% can make a big difference. So if the recommender system is just a little bit better, then that's a lot better for the whole company if more people buy because they get some good recommender systems. So I really noticed that this is very important. Compute is very important. Better models are very important, especially if you have that on scale. And it's also very difficult to enter that kind of world. So if you are just a student, if you don't have the resources, if you can't afford the GPUs, then you really can't compete with all of those big data centers and those big providers. And what fascinated me about Jasmy Lab is that it's basically a bottom-up company that they want to provide people all of those resources. And if you have a good idea, if you're good at programming something, then you can just do it, and you can do it for cheaper or even for free with our scholarship options. So I really liked that kind of a vision from Harada-san and from the other leadership team. And that is where I thought that is something I want to contribute to. And the connection to academia where I'm from, and the connection to researchers, and the connection to the Tokyo AI community, that is really something I can be proud of and that I enjoy a lot. And where at dinner conversations, sometimes I don't even mention the blockchain part, because that shuts people's brain off. Like, blockchain, it's just crypto, and NFTs are they really a thing anymore? And isn't it just a big scam? And there's a lot of people who are really into blockchain, and a lot of people who are really against blockchain. So you don't always have to points it out, because it's just a small part of it. So if you're into it, you can use the blockchain parts. If you're not into it, you can just train your AI models without ever touching anything on a blockchain. So it helps us for the infrastructure, it helps us for the data democracy, but it's not something where you need to know every detail about it. And if you're scared of investing, then don't do it, and just use the GPU resources like you would for any other company, and build some nice AI products on top of it, render your videos, train your models, make them better than the competition, and hopefully build something great together.
To expand further on that, I want to ask, like, what are businesses actually using custom AI models for? So you mentioned that Uniqlo, you are using AI. So why would a business, a retail business, want to be using AI in the first place?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, for the recommender system, so it's basically on every web shop. If you go to Amazon and you buy something there, or any other shop from your country, maybe you have some kind of like, you bought this one, do you want to buy this other
Yeah.
thing as well? And sometimes, especially in the early days, those recommender systems used to be really bad. So it's just like you just bought a desk. how about you buy this other desk as well? No, I already have a desk. I don't need a desk. So I need the better recommender systems. And for Uniqlo as well. So for people who don't know, it's a retailer. They make clothing. They have all kinds of clothing. So if you buy some t-shirt, then maybe you want to have the same t-shirt in another color, but maybe also you want, because you already have the t-shirt, you want some pants, or you want some shoes, or you want a necktie, or whatever it is that goes along with the style. So we wanted to improve that recommender system in that sense, so that we can get all of those nuances in there. So, and we built models on the different customers as well. So we checked, like, there's some customers, for example, they buy their 5 boxer shorts and that's it. And that's all they need Uniqlo for. So you need to check what the customer's history, for example. So they buy 5 boxer shorts, and you recommend them maybe more boxer shorts because they want only the boxer shorts. But then there's others, they go and buy their whole outfit, or they want to complement their outfit. And then, like I said, you have a white t-shirt, you want some black pants, or you want to have some office outfit, or you want to maybe also go to different styles and for different seasons. So we looked into all of those things, and it goes into real nuanced things. That's also where we built the knowledge graph. So the knowledge graph is then, for example, Christmas outfits. So you want a Christmas sweater, what kind of pants do you wear for that? Or you go to a Hanami party in the spring in Japan, do you maybe want some more pink tones and some light tones? So those are all the kind of considerations that go into that, that maybe you don't need to think about when you're not a fashion company. But if you're a fashion company and you want to provide the best customer service, you want to listen to the voice of the customers, which Uniqlo is very good at, and also predict what they kind of want. And it's also a great laboratory for Uniqlo. So they have a lot of different stores in many different countries, and sometimes you recognize trends in one country earlier, and then you can, make it happen in other countries as well. So you notice that one product is getting very popular in Korea. You notice, oh, this product, just because we moved it to the front at the entrance, more people buy it, and it got really popular. Then we notice, okay, this kind of product we also put in the front entrance in Japan and in Germany, and then we see if it gets more popular. So you want to know your customer, you want to know your industry, you want to build very targeted models, and you want to get very fine grained about what you're doing. And then you can provide the best service to customers, and the customers might reward you with the more higher, better revenue.
That's the perfect flywheel, right? You're understanding your customer, collecting these data points, and then optimizing your ROI depending on the feedback that you're getting from the market. So, yeah, I absolutely love that. It makes sense. So, Hara, how about yourself? How has your mindset changed transitioning from a Web 2 traditional finance background now to into Web 3?
Mainly, I'm as a accountant. For me, the fundraising is the engine of growth. So when it works, the entrepreneurs gain new choices. So when it's limited, even great companies cannot scale. So in traditional finance, I saw funding options were narrow, so slow, and also expensive. So the founders, mainly from this Asian market or Japanese market. So the founders who wanted to challenge the world often had the fewest parts. So during the ICO era, when I joined this Jasmy, so I realized crypto wasn't only speculations. So it could be a real new fundraising tools. It should be. So if designed properly, and it creates faster and more open access to capitals. So that's why choose I chose to specialize in crypto fundraising and joined Jasmy and Junction to build that model in a trustworthy long-term way. So that's why this is why I'm here. There's a more focus on to make sure why you can invest us.
No, that makes sense. You like the speed of innovation, and to innovate fast, you need to have the resources to do that, and that requires capital. So there's definitely lots of different new innovative funding ways that the crypto world has experienced over the many years that it has been finding its grassroots. But you're totally right, and we're starting to see different models, how people can involve their community with ownership of their company, with community fundraisers, venture capital fundraisers as well. There's lots of different opportunities for people to get started out there. So, in saying get started, I know that once you do get started in a founder entrepreneur roadmap, it is very busy, not a lot of sleep. So, how do you guys stay creative, stay motivated to build what you guys are doing there?
Oh, just actually step by step, we build and check the result and continue to work with and try a lot with cheaper budget. So actually we have maybe 6 or 7 teams for building their own MVP. But so we actually should choose and one of them or two of them, and for add some development resources for going to the market. So it's also more motivating. So we can create something new and try to adapt this market to check the good reactions from the client or something we are facing. This are good potentials for us. So this is our motivations. So we just try to create an PDCAs, right?
A true numbers guy coming back from your accounting background, right? The numbers are there. If you're seeing success with other projects that you guys are incubating, that gives you reinforcement that you are on the right trajectory and more excitement to, innovate more within that line. How about yourself there, Bernard?
Yeah, I was just chuckling, Kira, because you mentioned it. So sometimes you have some very long nights and you're traveling and you're going to different time zones. And we're also a very distributed team all over the world. So we have our lead blockchain engineer in Argentina. We have people in Europe. We have people in China. We have people in Japan. So all over the day, you get your messages. You need to react to them. You need to get the people together. Then, like Harada mentioned, we manage those different teams, and you need to be on top of every new development and then connect them. And so it can get a little bit overwhelming, but it's also my passion to do that. So I love building things. I like building great products and innovating and trying something new. And not everything works out at the first time, and you iterate and you get the feedback. And sometimes you need to step back a little bit from some projects, and sometimes you need to go into more projects more deeply and add more resources, which we currently did with JANCTION, like we said. And we are proud of what we've been developing, and we're looking forward to more customer feedback and checking what the people are saying, how they want to use it, what they see, what can be improved, and then we are on top of that too, and we're continuing to build. So that's my passion. Even sometimes when the sleep is not there, when you're on an international flight and you have a 20-hour flight, including layover and different time zones, and then the sleep disruption after that. But what I like about the job is that basically you have a laptop, you can do it from anywhere. So you have a laptop, you have an internet connection, you are connected to your team, you can contribute to your GitHub, you can check what people are saying, you can manage people, you can fix the architecture diagram, whatever it is. If you have a longer layover at an airport, you just pop open your laptop and you fiddle around a little bit and you connect with people and hope everything works out for the best.
So you stay motivated by the signals that you're getting from your community and being able to tap into helping them out, solve their problems wherever you might be in the world. And how big is the community at the moment? How many people have you currently got on testnet at Junction?
Yes. Now actually getting bigger, but also already 7,000 nodes attended for this providing computing resources, and some of the like GPU providers. It's also with NVIDIA's product. It's also getting more increasing rapidly in this last 1 month. So now actually 500 to 400 to 500 list list on our platforms, but it's not enough. So now actually we more like focus on to increase supplier side and demand side, both of them. So mainly focus on to create demand. So that's why just also like actually institutions account we should focus on and step by step should try to use and enough resources, not only focus on the numbers of institutions, so various types of product we actually more focus on and create the use cases with national institutions and academia and so on. So our one of the KPIs, of course, the number of supplier sites. So, but more focus on to build together with institutions. So more focus on to build product with computing resources.
So, if there's anybody out there listening today, either on the supply or the demand side, how do they get in contact to provide GPU, become a node operator, or even just to buy GPUs for their own AI rendering?
Yeah, actually, for mainly want to focus on some tasks. So also Barney also mentioned about the video renderings or Blender files. It also just focus on some of the open source and there are many communities and after there are a lot of demand for using GPU, but focus on step by step. So just now actually focus on Blender communities and uh, kind of video rendering. So focus on. Then just also create some good use cases.
So, if there's somebody in the Blender community at the moment or wanting to use these cheaper alternative options, how do they actually find you? Is it they go to Discord or do they have to go to a website? How do they actually start using your infrastructure to render their video?
Yeah, technically, we already have some of the features for put your Blender files on our platforms and just choose the how many tokens you have and how you pay for, and just getting some of the result for the rendered files. You can install it. No, download it. So it's just simple, but so actually more focus on marketing. So after launch our mainnet, we actually more push for the advertisement or peer marketing opportunities around Blender communities as much as possible.
Yeah, I
Sounds good.
mentioned the website JANCTION.ai before, and I'm also going to mention the website gpx.link. So the gpx.link is the one for rendering your Blender files. So you go there, you click on task to create a task to explore the network, and then it's a little bit complicated still with the crypto integration, but also if you can do that, then you can just connect your wallet, you get your tokens from the faucet, and you can test it for now, and you can basically get some renderings. And I'd like to open up for people who want to connect because this is still very tech nerdy, and we know it's like not the easiest one. So if you don't have tech knowledge, it might be tough. But you can connect to us. So we do have a LinkedIn page, so you can connect with me directly. So if you find me, Bernd Hollerith, or you find the Jasmy Lab web page, you can message us there. We also have our Telegram handles, and we also have emails. So if you go to our website, you can just Google Jasmy Lab or you can Google JANCTION. You can find some contact form there, and then you can just reach out. And I'd like to help people use our services. So if you have anyone who needs some help, maybe you're not so technical inclined, but you're interested and you want to start using, then just reach me through one of those channels and I'll get back to you.
I love how open that is, and to have that intimate relationship where you can work with the co-founding team or the root team is really unique. And I think you said if there's anybody out there in the business of wanting to explore cheaper GPUs, explore cheaper storage, or maybe look into having hyper specific models for their business to optimize ROI, they can look to you, look to use Jasmy, and Jasmy Labs. It's a bit of a mouthful with all of those, but the services are all there. So I love that you guys are super transparent on being able to provide that service for your community as it grows. So just to wrap this one here up, I always ask this question to all of my guests, and I'll ask this to both of you, please. If you could think about sending a message to your 17-year-old self, what would you say to that person?
Mm. Yeah, thanks for this fun questions for me. I just I actually I didn't want to be a CPA when I was 17. So I actually talked about, yeah, you should try to build something new and keep updating with yourself. So that's why, and that's what just challenge can grow rapidly. So that's why I actually want to have some of the options and above the possibilities. So in my teenagers, yeah, likewise.
No, it makes sense. Keep challenging yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to be growing. So I love that advice. How about yourself there, Bernard?
Yeah, I thought I was wondering how many people answer you buy Bitcoin because that's the obvious one. Yeah, so if you know what's happening 10, 20 years ago, then you know the markets, you know what to invest. But the thing is, you don't know right now, and that's the thing that you can create the future. So you can build something new. And as a 17-year-old right now, if you're getting into the tech industry, especially, I think that is a very good industry to be in. Just build something, play around with it, enjoy the process, and then keep studying, get better, connect with people who do the same thing. I would say you can learn a lot by yourself, but you can learn even more if you're working with a dedicated team. If you, for example, for me, I have the tech background, and I appreciate that Harada-san has the finance background. So if you come from those two backgrounds, you really complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. So I know exactly how to build something technologically, and Harada-san knows how to fundraise. So this kind of strength together, you don't have as a single one person. And I know a lot of tech nerds out there that think like, yeah, tech is the most important thing, and we don't need marketing, and we don't need finance, and we don't need HR people, and so on. But you actually do. So the biggest companies and the best companies, those bring all those synergy effects together, and it's not enough to build a great product by yourself. You need all those people around you to help you succeed. So I would say to my 17-year-old self, a little bit less in your room by yourself and studying, and a little bit more getting together with people and leveraging those effects that you get from synergies of working together with people.
Absolutely. And when you are talking and collaborating with people, you get new ideas, you get different perspectives. And I think that's when the true creative power comes together, right? Like you said, having a technical background, a finance background, and maybe, something completely different and collaborating all in one room. I feel like that's when the pure magic really does happen, bringing in all these different perspectives and remembering also that you're developing products for. Uh, Hopefully 8 billion people, right? And there's a lot of diversity amongst that whole entire world. So, yeah, no, I love that advice as well. So, that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else that you guys would like to say out to your community before we wrap this one up? But it's been a pleasure today.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Kira. I loved the interview. So this is the first time we're meeting, and we already got off to a great start. I'd love to do this again. So please reach out again. For the community, also, I love engaging with all of you. So if you have requests for our development, or if you're interested in working at Jasmy or Jasmy Lab as well, if you're in the Tokyo area, we have lots of opportunities to get together. And there's a big AI community, a big research community, a big ecosystem. In AI, in crypto, in many other fields. So there's always something to do. And just reach out, get together with people, and we'll make something work together. So yeah, hope to see you in Tokyo. And if I ever travel to where you are, Keira, then let's hang out.
Sounds good. No, thank you so much. And I love that you guys are incubating the AI community in Tokyo and really excited to follow along further. And yeah, definitely get you guys back on and good luck with the mainnet launch coming up. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me again. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
my
Likewise.
pleasure also. Thanks so much.